Hello all, I'm back in my studio. If you're new, my name's Emma, I'm an illustrator based in Sheffield and these are my no longer daily-ish vlogs. How many weeks is it going to take before I stop saying daily-ish vlogs? My weekly vlogs. Anyone who isn't new, welcome back. You will already know, if you're not new, that I've been away for a few days to see family. I've been up in the Lake District which is in Cumbria, northwest England, and I've had a really nice time. The weather's held up. Hasn't been too hot, but it's been dry enough to get out, which has been amazing. Managed to get some drawing days out with my sister, who is also an artist illustrator. Go and check out her YouTube channel. She is doing daily vlogs at the moment. Where I've stopped them for a while, she's picking up the reins for the daily vlogs. So if you're wanting daily-ish vlogs, go along and give her some support. But yeah, it's the start of another week. So welcome back to the studio. I enjoy travelling. I do enjoy travelling, but I've got to say it's really nice to be back in my own space, my own mess. Talking about mess, I do need to sort this studio out a little bit, but that can be a later job. Plans for today, I'm going to do some illustrating on that children's book, that self-published children's book that I was going to do in January. All my planning was done in January. I didn't actually get around to finishing it because I lost momentum and I lost steam, but I want to get it done. It needs to be out of my head. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I've got a self-initiated book that I'm going to self-publish and I've been meaning to do it for absolutely ages. That's why this isn't one of the books that I'm going to approach publishers with, because this is one that I'm very almost finished and I started it ages ago. It's and that's not a different style, it's still my style, but it's not necessarily how I draw and stuff now. I'd be a lot looser if I started it now, but I'm so close to the end, it would be such a shame and such a waste of all of those hours. Anyway, I'm going to do a bit of that work to get me closer to a deadline. Before I get on though, because also I need to do some ordering for my online shop, I wanted to show you this that came in the post. So the other day I was on a Zoom with Benjamin Phillips, and I think it was with the AOI. When I was on there, Benjamin Phillips mentioned a book that he collaborated with Yeji Yun, an illustrator from South Korea. And this is a collaborative project where every image was collectively produced by the two artists. Half the book was drawn and written in London, the other half in Seoul. And it came about from a misunderstanding of the word Cumberland, which is where I'm from. It became Cucumberland. Cumberland. I can see how it happened. But they've made a book, Peanut Borough Cucumberland, based around that misunderstanding and that miscommunication. And I thought that was a hilarious idea. Not only was it amazingly illustrated, it spoke to me about my people, my Cucumberland people, because I'm from Cumberland. Oh, Cumbria. Cumberland is the old name for Cumbria. So yeah, it spoke to me and I got it, and it is absolutely delightful. I got it from Benjamin Phillips' own Big Cartel website. And it's a little treat to me. It's so beautifully done. And I even got a signature and an original drawing in the front. I am thrilled with that. I've already read it once. It's a harrowing tale, but I'm probably going to have a cup of tea later and just revel in those pages and read it all over again. So that is nice. I might put that there. Is it going to slide through? No, it's going to be fine. I also, when I was away last week, got this by Simon Philip and Lucia Gaggiotti. I really want the cake. I got it in a charity shop. It was 50p. Can't beat a good charity shop book. I'm a little bit addicted to children's books. For the inspiration, it's good to be aware of the field that you're in. See what other people are doing, not to copy, but like it's nice to be inspired by people. If you don't like children's pictures for children's picture books, you're probably not going to like the job of drawing children's pictures for children's picture books. I like seeing illustrations and I like seeing how other illustrators do them in children's books, and this one really spoke to me. I don't get every single children's book in charity shops. I flick through them, and if there's anything in them that really makes me go, oh, I wish I'd drawn that, then I know it. Then I know it's singing to my soul. And I just like the brush marks. I liked how funny it was. It's quite a simple story. But yeah, so I got that. And the bonus is there's a recipe in the back. So it's going to be a children's book kind of day. Yeah, I need to do some ordering for my small business, Embers and Ink. And then I'm going to do some iPad work. I'm going to do some illustrating of the self-published book that I want to get finished and done. And then I'm coming to the end of my very first children's book that I wrote and illustrated, which is Our Dave. I did a very small first run of about 400 books, and I'm coming to the end of those now. So I would very much like to redesign Our Dave, and not redesign it, but re-illustrate it, have another go with my more developed eye and my more developed hand. And rather than just reordering that first edition, when I do a reorder, do the second edition with updated illustrations, because we all change. There's no point not admitting that I've developed and I've changed. So that's also on the horizon. And maybe even get some planning done on my calendar today, because that calendar got a lot of use in January, and not that much really since. So maybe we'll get some planning done too. Where are you? I'm so sorry. It's been a few days since I've talked to you guys on the camera, so I don't remember exactly what we talked about when the video was last recording. But if you've watched me before, you'll probably know that I've had this children's book idea, the self-published children's book thing. This is a dummy book that I'm working through. And you may remember that I've been trying to get this done since January. I think I mentioned this in the video earlier, but if not, I've been trying to get it done since January, but it's much older than that. It's been going on for probably 5 years, and I've been on again, off again. Should have self-published, should have not, because I'm going down this traditional publishing journey, and part of me feels like it doesn't sit alongside my other illustrations, and then part of me is like, well, it's all my work and I've spent so much time on it. And in January I started actually methodically making a plan and going through each page that I still had to illustrate. And I mean, I've got a really good thorough plan here, but I've been going through each page that I had to illustrate and ticking them off. Now I thought that kind of fell by the wayside, and indeed it did fall by the wayside, but I thought I was much further behind than I was. So the other day I went on to my big computer, not my iPad, where I've got a document where it's basically the book document with all of the cut lines and bleed lines and all that kind of stuff in, as the printer wants it. And I went in there and I uploaded all of the saved images that I'd done on here, which I hadn't yet uploaded onto my computer. I uploaded them up, and it turns out I only have about 3 pages left to do. So I am much further ahead than I thought. So at some point there will be a Kickstarter coming. I'm not there yet as I'm filming this, but keep an eye out if you are interested in that. Also, I have the idea that, so this is my first children's book, Our Dave, written all about my own boy, Dave. And it needs updating. The illustrations, they're all right, but I might mention this in the early video. I think I've come on quite a way in terms of my illustration style, and I think it needs a second edition. So, as this is nearly out of print, there's only a few books of this left, I think I might also re-illustrate this book. I think it deserves a photograph of the original Dave and maybe a little bit of a blurb about who the original Dave is. But I think a second edition of this is on the way. And I'm thinking maybe I'll pair that alongside this book, in the same Kickstarter, because I don't have enough money to order this second edition out of savings. I would need to do a Kickstarter, and there's no point doing 2 Kickstarters, so maybe I'll do a double Kickstarter. And in the meantime, I'm going to be working in the background also on re-illustrating these. I think most of the pages, in my head, most of the pages are probably going to be fairly similar, but while I'm doing the re-illustration, while I'm doing the second edition, I might as well take a bit of time and look at it with a step back and think, do any of these pages, could they be done in different ways? There's a good technique which I learned from one of the Good Ship illustration people. I think it was Katie Chappell. And she does a thing when she's doing a project. She does 20 ideas in 20 minutes, where she'll get a piece of paper and she'll make 20 little boxes, little thumbnails. And in 20 minutes, she'll try and get 20 ideas down. Even if they're rubbish ideas, she fills every single 20 box in 20 minutes. And I think that's the kind of thing, maybe not exactly, but I think that's the kind of thing I'm going to do with this. So each page, if I think maybe the page might benefit from looking at it from a different angle, I might do that and think about all the different angles I can work it from. It may end up exactly the same, and if it does, that's fine, because I can very easily update this if the format's exactly the same. But I think it's worthwhile seeing if there's anything else I can do with this while I'm going to the effort of re-illustrating it. So I've got this is one of the seconds that came back from the factory with slight misprints. This one's got some misprinted ink on here. So I've got this just knocking around. So I'm going to use this as my dummy book, even though this is the first edition. This is my dummy book that I'll be working on after I've finished illustrating the kind of new self-published book. But I've only got a few pages left from that, so I'm going to work my way through that this week, which is very exciting. I was very happy to find that I was much further along than I had been previously. It just goes to show plans and calendars do actually work. Hello, I am at the allotment. I needed to have a break from the house, and coming down here on a lovely day seemed like a great option. I'm in the process of weeding around this bed here, if you're interested. And I think rather than putting the bricks back, I'm going to put some logs back, because down at the car park we have a log pile and a wood chip pile. and someone had delivered these. So rather than putting the bricks back, which all the bindweed and stuff, you know, like grows in between, and it's quite tricky to actually get the weeds out. You're just kind of like pulling the leaves off and leaving the roots. I'm going to try and do that. I'll put cardboard down first. I'll dig it under the path and the existing cardboard on the bed, and then put those on top just to delineate the bed, and then put some more compost down, I think. And then I need to dig some potatoes because they need a harvest apparently, and I'm not one to turn down food. But I'm trying to pace myself, so I've poured myself a mint tea, because when I come down here I normally just kind of blast through for like an hour doing a bit of weeding, get very dehydrated and feel very stressed, and that's not really what I need to do. So I'm taking regular drink breaks, and I've actually sat down with a hot drink this time, which is lovely, apart from the fact that whenever you stop you get crawled over by ants. But c'est la vie, nature. And you might be able to tell from my face that I'm exhausted. What I thought was going to take 2 hours at the allotment took me 5, but I did the thing with the bed. I didn't film it. It ended up getting so hot down there that I just couldn't stand it. So I'm so exhausted. But tonight I'm hosting my monthly live Zoom, over on Zoom obviously, but over on Patreon. So it's available to all paid tiers, and my tiers start at £1. If you want to get involved, come along. It's called the Scribbles Aloud Drawing Club. So when you sign up on any paid tier, you instantly become a member of the Scribbles Aloud Drawing Club. And every month we meet live on Zoom. Today we're drawing people. And I know it's too late for you to join in the live now, but the great thing about the Patreon membership is that A, you can stay for a member for as long or as short as you want, and B, you never really miss out, because even though you can't join the live for this, all of the sessions are recorded. So if you want to join in the future, if you're watching this 3 years in the future, 5 years in the future, whatever, as long as my Patreon's running, you'll be able to access this live Zoom that I'm going to be hosting in 9 minutes. And I've just caught sight of my face. I look so tired, but the show must go on. 40 minutes. And then I can go to sleep. Zooms. So now it's August. Just like that. And if you're one of my patrons, or if you've watched this video before, you'll know that every month, have I mentioned this in this video? This is what's tricky about doing weekly vlogs, is that I'm filming bit by bit, day by day, and I can't remember what we've talked about. Over on my Patreon, on my £1 tier, I think I've mentioned this in this video, one of the rewards that you get is monthly downloads, and these are some of them. So this is a calendar with an illustration that I've done, and the same illustration is on some printable note sheets, one with to do, one without to do. I like to use these for things like shopping lists and stuff, because my to-do list is in my notebook, but it's also nice to have something that you can take out with you. For example, if you want to make like a shopping list, or if you want to make a list of what stock you've got in your shop, it's nice to have some printable note sheets, and these guys don't have the months on them, so you can reuse these month after month. So these are just some of the printables, and I do actually use these myself, so these are going to go up on my wall. The illustration this month is Rolly, my cat, looking up at a giant sunflower. I try to find inspiration in real life in some of my illustrations now, so a lot of them are Rolly themed, and quite a few are garden themed as well now at the moment, because that's what I'm doing. And recently I had a massive sunflower which I was very proud of and looking forward to saving the seeds so I could eat them, and before I could do it, a squirrel got it, and I was going to illustrate that, but I thought I wanted to put Rolly in it somewhere, so I thought this was a nice simple illustration, and I quite like that. Yesterday's live Zoom went well. The recording of that's all up on the Patreon feed too. That's probably where we were talking about Patreon. So it's been very Patreon heavy the last couple of days. Also for my Patreon, I need to film a sketchbook tour. So I take my observational sketchbooks from each month and I film them. That's me. So I film myself doing a flick through of everything that I've done where I've been, not like studio work, but stuff where I've been taking a sketchbook outside. And I filled a couple of sketchbooks in July. So it's not just, it's not that one. It's not just these small ones. I also take, now I've started taking an A4 one out as well, and I quite enjoy that with my with my felt tips. I don't necessarily get masterpieces done, but I'm trying to capture quick movements. Or just people, so, for example. And I'm really enjoying that. I need to find where July is. July, 22nd of July that was. So I'll get on with that today at some point. But if you're interested in having a look through my observational sketchbooks, you are very welcome to join in on Patreon. And as I probably said in the previous time I was talking about it, you can stay a patron for as long or as short as you like, and you can access all of the information, all of the like posts and stuff that were posted up for your tier, going back to the beginning of that tier. So whether it's calendars, they're not going to be very useful from the previous months, but the note sheets and I also do a phone wallpaper and a tablet wallpaper, so you can go back and get access all of those ones, as well as have a look at all the sketchbook tours, and also have a look at all of the other recordings of our live drawing Zooms. Obviously you can't draw in the lives. I'm not Doctor Who. I can't bend time and space at my whim, but you can watch the recordings of our previous sessions. That's good. So if you're interested in that, get yourself along. So yeah, that's something else I need to get on with today. I'm feeding my neighbour's cat. And so I just wanted to show you how delicious this boy is. This is Jake. And he's a shoulder cat. He needs lots of cuddles. I just picked him up and he went on my shoulder. Again, the second time he's done this. So I thought I'd show you my journey feeding this boy. I'm going to be in such trouble with Rolly. Are you comfortable up there, or would you like to get me down on the floor? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? This guy. That's okay. Oh my goodness. Oh. Oh my goodness. Don't fall. Don't fall. I feel like a pirate. Oh my god, you're molting. I'm gonna have to have a full shower when I go in, otherwise Rolly's gonna be having words with me. Yes. This guy. This guy. Jakey guy. I've just been around to feed my neighbour's cat while she's away, and oh my god, he is a snuggle bunny. He's so unbelievably cuddly. So I've had like 40 minutes around there just getting my cuddle fix, because if you don't know, my cat Rolly is not really cuddly. He shows affection. We have snuggles on the rug. He likes to play, but every time I pick him up, most times when I pick him up, he's not too keen. He wants to be put down, and he's not really a lap cat. So, and I'm not judging him. You know, we've all got our different personalities. I love him for him, but it's been nice to have a little lap cuddle. When she's back, I might just go around and see him, and her, obviously, but wow, today is going to be a day of me talking about Patreon, but this time it's not about mine. I didn't realise, with it being the 1st of August, I mean, I did on a subconscious level, but I forgot. My sister has relaunched her Patreon, and it's looking amazing. She's just put out a welcome post all about her new relaunch, and I've just written, that's what I was just doing then, I've just written a post about it for free over on my Patreon, because, I mean, don't cry nepotism, I am fully explaining that this is my sister, and there's no obligation to go over and see her, but she's relaunched it, and I think she offers something that's really unique to her, and I'm just really pleased to see it. I love my sister's work. My sister makes lots of lovely art, even though if you said it to her face, she would say, no, I don't, and then crawl up her bum. But she makes lovely big paint-filled canvases, as well as small jewel-like collages. I keep wanting to say courgettes when I say collages. So if I say courgette, you know what I mean. Beautiful jewel-like courgettes, collages with full of texture and depth and warmth, and they're made with papers that are mostly papers that she's made herself, if not exclusively papers she's made herself. And I think she's really kind of stepping into the art that she makes and trying to help nurture other people who may want to make their own art, delve into the handmade, especially in this world of full digital, almost digital takeover. It's nice to feel the comfort of knowing you can make something yourself and have a community of people out there who also make things themselves. So I will pop a link in my video description. There's no obligation, but if you want to go and check her out, the link will be to her post explaining all about it. It's a free to access post, so it costs you nothing to go along. You can also follow her for free, as well as following me for free as well. I'll pop a link down below to the post where she's explaining all about it. She can explain it better than I can. Just go and check her out, because I think it's about time she gets the recognition she deserves. So yeah, I'm her little cheerleader, yay! But for good reason. I really love her art. So there's a little post there all about it. Oh, I am pooped. I think I'm going to leave this video here, and then I can use this device to film a sketchbook tour for my very own Patreon. So thanks for joining me for this week. Hopefully it's been interesting. I can't really remember what I filmed, but that's just the joy and spontaneity of the weekly vlogs, I suppose. So yeah, hopefully it's not been a complete catastrophe and there's been something enjoyable in it for you. Until next week then, I'm going to say bye-bye.